Hey everybody, what's up? A little bit of a different video this time around. This is my first developer log, and don't worry, I'm going to keep making my reacting to video game videos. I love doing those, so just stay tuned. But this is my first developer log where I'm going to just kind of show you the process of making the game that I'm making and give you guys some just maybe weekly updates on it, or even, every few days some updates. So this is it. It's called Attica Origins. So just some background information here. I started making this game 6 to 8 months ago, just for fun, like once a week, once every 2 weeks, I just, plug in a day here or there. And then I started taking it seriously about 3 months ago, and I started doing this mainly full time. A few months ago, people started saying, it looked okay. So, started taking it seriously, and here we are. This is about 2 to 3 months of full-time work here. And so I just give you a heads up here. I have see the FPS there. I just want to get this out of the way. The FPS there is the frames per second. So standard for a AAA game is roughly 30 frames per second to 50 frames per second for an open world RPG. It's rarely 60 for like God of War, for example. That's the standard that I use for video games these days. That was running at about 30 to 40 frames per second for the most part on PlayStation. So, and the minimum you should be running at is 24, and this actually runs at about this scene, what we're looking at right now, runs about 30 to 35, usually about 33 to 35 frames per second. But because I'm recording this like 5K monitor here, that recording program's taking up a solid 8 frames per second. So whenever you see maybe even more than that, whenever you see a giant dip in frames per second, that is largely because the recording program is open. And this is full HD, by the way. So one last thing, this is also in full HD. And so users will be able to drop their resolution, textures, whatever they want to. This isn't even the highest quality you can go to. I have a slightly above average computer. It's an iMac from 4 years ago. It was pretty state of the art at the time, but it's not a gaming computer. So if you have a video game computer, your computer will run this game way better than mine does. All right, let's just kind of show you guys what I've been up to the past little bit here. So where do we start here? So the last few months, what you do when you want to build a game is you build the infrastructure. An open world 3D game. You want to build the infrastructure first. So what you do is, instead of just going and like straight away building like the quests and levels right off the bat, you need to build the systems. So what I've been doing is building the equipment system, user interface, combat system, magic, archery. Did I say quests already? Pickups, just a lot of random things like that, and just implementing them all together. Some of these I kind of used templates that I implemented, but for the most part, I actually erased all of those templates and just rebuilt my own. But they may look some of the stuff, like the punching here, looks similar to one of the things on the Epic Asset Store, because that's what it is. So you can go ahead and punch that guy there. AI is just getting all scared right now. I don't want him to fight back. But yeah, so anyways, let's just kind of show you around here. So we're going to go around here, pick up some of these items here, pick up that. Hopefully the AI doesn't attack me. Please don't. Okay, fuck you. Okay, I need to get out of here. I don't want to attack him yet. So some camera issues right there. There's some clipping. There's a lot of issues I'm going to be showing you guys in this video. But anyways, okay, so let's open up the user interface here. It looks ugly, but it works. Okay, I'm going to be fixing the ugliness of it. So we're going to open it up here. Ignore all of this. Ignore all these buttons. Ignore all of the looks of this, okay? I just want to make sure it works. So here, let's just go to armor. We just picked up a bunch of things. So we're going to equip this ugly helmet, which I'm going to be taking out of the game, so don't worry. This is a template helmet. And we're going to equip the bow. We're going to equip... Oh, something just popped up on my screen, which is why the first click didn't work. What was it? Oh, Adobe. Get off the thing, Adobe. So let's just equip some chest armor, a sword. The shield, I have not equipped it properly yet, but we're going to do it anyways. The shield is going to spawn like on your back, and it's going to look weird. So that's not equipped properly, but let's see here. Let's open up some of the melee stuff. So, melee combat system works. You can do a bunch of stuff and use that if you want to. You can do combos, a bunch of stuff. All right, so melee works. There's a bunch of different swords that you can use. So here, I spawned the... see what happens I spent the last week pretty much just dealing with putting pants on a character, and when you're in combat mode, it doesn't look good. So if you're running around, these pants work fine, actually. They look decent. I'd make some minor improvements, but they look fine. But then all of a sudden, when you go into combat, they start stretching out. And see, it's clipping there and everything's stretching. So I'm going to need to find a way around that. I'm not sure how to do it yet. I think I might just actually make some pants and then have a shorter waist. So instead of having this waist guard go down to your knees, I might actually just cut it off mid-thigh or something like that. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but I'll figure it out. And yeah, so anyways, so we have, archery stuff. The bow isn't spawned properly either, but you can, you can shoot the bow. There you go, headshot, boom. If you shoot it in his shield, not much will happen. He just blocks it. No health is really lost. A little bit there. So it really depends if you crit and stuff too. So I think that actually might have the crit on full. I'm not quite sure yet. So anyways, we have a magic system here. You can fire fireballs and just rapid fire those. And it tells you where they spawn. Let's see if we can switch this up here. Oh, the teleport. I don't know why this isn't working properly right now, but it was working like 5 minutes ago, I swear. But it's not working right now, so I'll fix that. And let's see here. Oh, yeah, that's right. You have a heal, though that didn't heal properly that time. So there's a bunch of issues with the magic system I'm going to need to work on. There's a running heal that you can use, too. So if you want to just do a slow running heal. There's right now I have, I don't know, I want to say like 10 abilities, something like that. There you go. There's an earthquake spike. There's a bunch of others that I didn't equip right now. But anyways, so like the time warp and stuff. So some of that is too template-ish. So I'm going to be building a lot of custom ones that look a little bit better. Anyways, so that's kind of how the basic combat works. There's also unarmed too. So I think that's get into that. So, there's unarmed and yeah, there's a bunch of stuff you can do with unarmed. Spartan kick. So anyways, that's that for now. And let's see, let's get into, so I need to change this interact here, but let's pick up a quest. This is just a basic system. Nothing's going to happen. But you click E, you get this quest from this dude. It says kill a Greek soldier. We actually just already killed him. So don't worry. And then I'll be spawning some more and there's going to be a bunch happen. So quest, and then you can go to your quest log here. This is, all working. You can select this one. I think that I actually have a button in here to test multiple quests. So there we go. This is the second quest. And you go through here and you can select this one if you want to. So you have your choice. So there you go. All of a sudden the second quest is active. The first one should bump off screen, but that is my bad. That will be fixed in the future. And I have it set up so yeah, when you do kill the Greek soldier, I've already tested it. It does work. I just forgot to spawn them and do it properly in this video. Okay, so a few other things here. Let's get into some of the stuff I was working on. So initially, the past week what I've been working on too is the pants and the optimization. So what was happening here was that during this scene here, without recording this 5K screen, the frame rate was dropping to like 15 frames per second. And that was not good, obviously. That was not good. So I learned how to kind of optimize a little bit better here. I'm going to cull the grass, spawn some more grass in here. But it was dropping super, super low. Now what I had to do was learn how to optimize. So what I ended up doing was making the grass not cast any shadows. That bumped it up by about 5 frames per second. I made the shadows slightly less detailed too. That bumped it up another 3. And then what I ended up doing was... what was the other thing I ended up doing? The big thing. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because when I was playing this game, too, it was initially creating the whole game in a 5K resolution, like this monitor that I have here. And so that's not standard. Standard for a video game is you're playing at 1080p at 30 to 50 frames per second. So 24 is usually the minimum to play a AAA open world game. So... again, when you're seeing these frame rates here, these are about 10 lower than they should be. Then I've tested them just a few minutes ago before I started recording the screen. And so you can change the settings too. This is almost as high quality as it can go. It can go a little bit higher, as I said, but again, I don't have a gaming computer. This is just an iMac that's 4 years old. And it is decent. It has like 32 gigs of RAM, but the graphics card sucks. And the processor's pretty good too. But the graphics card is just a piece of poop. So if you have a gaming computer, you can play this game like beautifully, and you could put them. So, but again, you can lower the resolution if you want to before the game starts or during the game. You can lower it to 720p, still be full screen. It'll still look fine, and it'll run well on almost. And you can play at 480p if you want to. It's not going to look as good, but you can play it on a MacBook Air if needed. So you can change the shadows and stuff too. So whatever computer you have, you're going to be able to play this game. Is what I'm trying to say here. So this frames per second. This is solely because I'm recording the screen right now. It does not look like this. So there's a few other things I want to say here. Let's see here. I want to show you this clipping here. So let's get back. Get back. And also too, the other thing too is that I'm also running this with the Unreal Engine in the background, and that always kills it too. So right now I have essentially a video game editor in the background, and that is also causing a massive frame rate drop too. So there's a lot of things when people are seeing these 22, 23, 18 frames per second, that's not going to be it on the launch. Don't worry. So see that mountain in the background there behind those hills? So that's what it's supposed to look like. That's the high definition mountain. But when you walk back to this certain part here, see the mountain in the background, it's going to change. Boom. It changed to a lower resolution mountain. I don't want that to happen like that. That is too obvious. So I'm going to have these hills here actually be much higher so they actually cover up that mountain. And so why that happens is because in open world games, it's not just one level that you're in. People think that God of War or Assassin's Creed, Odyssey, or name anything, Legend of Zelda, whatever you want. People think that because you can look so far in the distance, like this is several kilometers here, that this is all one level. It is not. This level that you're in right now is one tile. That mountain back there, which is changing, that's another tile. And that's another couple kilometers. That mountain over there in that distance, that's another tile. And so all of those, a tile is just its own level. And so what happens is to save your computer's memory is that you need to spawn those mountains essentially when they become visible or when they become close. Or else if you have them there and you're on the other side of the world, who cares if that mountain's there? Let's just make it disappear so the computer doesn't have to process that mountain. So that's how that works. And yeah, here's just some cloth too. I was experimenting with cloth, but for the pants, and so I was trying to get the cloth working. It ended up working for stuff that isn't pants. Second you put it on pants, it doesn't work as well. So I'm going to need to figure out the pants thing eventually. Let's see here. I don't need this much grass too, I noticed, is that a lot of open world games don't need this much grass because people rarely look down at the grass. Like that grass, when you look down and it doesn't look good. The only game which I've seen have grass look pretty decent is because the grass is so tall, it's Horizon Zero Dawn. So the grass in that game is so tall that they actually don't have a lot of actual grass in that game, but they have tall grass because, well, you live in a robot dinosaur world and it involves stealth too, so you can hide in the grass. But most open world games have grass like this where it's just kind of patchy, takes up a lot less memory. So that's how that works. Anyways, let's see. Why are there trees spawned in the lake? Oh yeah, that's right. I did the water thing here, so the water works too. Lake looks decent. There's some changes I do need to make. It looks a little bit see-through right now. I'll probably need to change that in the future, but for now the water looks fine. I did that last week too. Yeah, so right now I just have all the systems set up. So right now the only other thing I need to work on here is the cinematics. So the thing I want to close on here are the cinematics and the close-ups, or not the cinematics in the story. Sorry, cinematics in the story. So the cinematics, that's the next thing I'm going to be implementing. The last system I need to do. And what you're going to be doing is, in this level, this is the opening level, you're going to be coming here, you're going to be hunting by yourself. I'm not going to give away too much of the story this very second, but you're going to be hunting an animal. Oh, that is the wrong thing that I clicked. You're going to be hunting an animal. It's going to be teaching you how to shoot, how to pull out your bow and everything. And, but anyways, what's going to happen is you're going to be flying, you're going to be having this perspective of a falcon in the opening scene. A falcon, hopefully, I'm going to try it. A falcon's going to fly in because the falcon's going to be a main character in this game. So a falcon's going to fly in and you're going to be following this mountain. It's going to show you the relative world around you. And then the camera's going to lock onto your character, which is called Alceus, or Alceus, depending on how you want to pronounce it, an ancient Greek name. And you're just going to learn how to hunt. And then the story of the game is, without giving away too much, I'll give away more in future devlogs, but the story of the game is, so you start out, you're hunting, you're just learning some of the basic stuff, and then you go back to your village, and your village has been completely decimated. And don't want to say more about that level right now, but the purpose of the story of the game is you trying to figure out why that happened. And there's a lot of detours where you'll actually forget about the main purpose of the game, and then it kind of comes back and it wraps together pretty nicely. And I think one of the strong parts of this game, I'm a pretty decent writer, I would like to say, for stories. And I think that one of the aspects of this game, which I think people will like, is the actual story of it. Hopefully. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be using voice actors or if I'm just going to narrate it. Because the thing is, though, I don't have motion capture software. So a lot of the cutscenes, I'm not going to be animating their mouths. I'm not going to be animating their facial expressions. I don't have time for that. I'm one person. So what I'm most likely going to be doing is I might actually just be narrating what's going on for the first little bit here and just see what happens. I might tell it kind of like a Stanley parable, a Stanley parable, except not funny. But like there are examples of games where there's no dialogue that is said and it's still a great story. So the Stanley parable, I was going to say the old Zelda games, but they weren't narrated. They were kind of just told without voices. So I'm going to maybe experiment with that. If I raise enough money through Kickstarter, I might do voice acting or I might be able to get a Windows PC and get this motion capture software. That would be really cool. But that's only if in order for me to be interested in or be able to do some motion capture and lip sync and stuff, we're talking, I'd probably need to raise at least 20 to 25 grand minimum. I would say probably 25 grand, and then I'd start thinking about it. But I don't know if that's going to happen. So we'll see what happens. For now, I think that's going to wrap this video up here. I just, I have a lot of these tiles built, but they're just not detailed like it is in this one yet. This level's not done either. Don't worry, this level's not done. It was just a basic example. There's going to be some more trees in here and ones that don't spawn in the lake. But I just want to show you kind of, the lighting. What is wrong with this lighting here? Why is it so bright? I don't know. That was weird. Yeah, so anyways, I just kind of appreciate, one of the things I like about having the camera up close with a character like this is just being able to kind of see how close everything else is too. Like you can take a nice zoom in on this rock here and it looks pretty detailed. For the most part, it doesn't look like a completely fake rock. It looks pretty detailed here. The trees are a little bit less detailed because there's a lot of them, but they still look pretty decent. Like here, look at this. That's okay. It looks a little bit pixelated there. I scaled this one up a little bit, but a lot of the stuff here, it looks pretty okay. I'm quite happy with a lot of the foliage here and how it looks. I like all the flowers here. I need to place more flowers, make this place look a little bit more lively. And this path here too. This path looks a little bit wanky, but I think it's fine for now. I think that's kind of all I wanted to cover. So for now, if you have any questions or anything, let me know in the comments down below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'll keep you guys updated. So the next thing I want to work on is cinematics and actually getting the shield to spawn in the right place and stuff. That'll be hopefully what I work on the next few days, next week or so. And also spawning less grass here, because Jesus. You don't need this much grass, people. Anyways, that's going to wrap this video up. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. Remember to leave a like and subscribe. But for now, I'd like to thank you very much for watching. You were all very beautiful people, and I'll see you guys in the next video.